speedrunners have already broken this new game called Super Mario role-playing game remake, which is just a remake. However, they refresh everything, including the graphics and probably some graphical glitches to optimize it for, the speedrunning community, it seems. So yeah, I mean, that's what games do. Put a few exploits here and there. Maybe some ones that have been undiscovered that they accidentally facilitate or something. Anyways, let's check it out.
Found many different glitches and skips in the Super Mario RPG remake, and they fall into two categories: movement tricks that avoid enemy encounters, and glitches that save time by sequence breaking. So let's start with the movement glitches. In Mushroom Way, there's an item box with a flower tab inside of it.
Yo, it feels like a fresh new whole game, bro. Pretty cool.
Flower items increase your flower points, which allow you to use special...
They might have added, like, they might just stay true to the original copy, like, at the core recoding of it. I mean, there might be no recoding.
Moves, and any easy flowers are welcome to the speedrun. To reach this flower normally, you need to fight the Goomba standing on the spinning flower before you can use it to jump to the platform with the chest, but there is another way up. If you ever so carefully position yourself to barely land on the flower, you'll avoid having to fight the Goomba, which saves a few seconds. And if we move forward to the...
Alright. Easy physical skip right there. It's kind of precise jump.
The sunken ship, we'll find another time save that involves skipping a mandatory fight. In the beginning of the sunken ship, there's a word puzzle you're supposed to solve that has 6 clues hidden in different rooms, with each being guarded by a greeper. It's relatively easy to bypass the greepers guarding the clue doors, but the greeper guarding the puzzle room itself...
So there's a floating button in that room, and I don't know why.
...is a bit trickier to get past. If you align yourself with the crates to the left, then run straight, it's possible to get through the door without taking the encounter, saving about 12
Is gonna zip line through that one.
seconds.
Snap a skeleton with the doghouse or something.
Depending on what enemies would appear in the fight. If
That's a greystone.
Move ahead.
Whoa, man. Yo, I'm still in awe about my HD display I got in this new laptop, man. It's not even an OLED. It's a good one. It's just a standard HD 1080 1920 or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Can't wait to upgrade, yo. I really like laptops. My next one's gonna be real good.
A few more areas, we find the Stumpet skip in Barrel Volcano. When you enter the room after the save block, there's a Stumpet right in front of you that appears as though it's supposed to be mandatory, but if you align to the wall, you can make a tight jump between the enemy to get...
Oh, snap. Very precise. That lava, like, that guy's straight up blocking the entrance. With ferocity, fierceness.
Below it. From here, it's possible to walk the tightrope between the edge and the Stumpet to get past, but not long after this, it was discovered you can align to the upper wall.
That's the whole area. It's just like nothing but no background, just like straight darkness around you. Reminds me of a game called like Cuber or something.
And jump behind the Stumpet,
Interesting.
which saves a couple of seconds over the first version. Unfortunately for the Stumpet, there's an even better skip. If you wait for the Spiny to align itself with the wall, you can initiate a fight, then run from it. When you run from a battle, the enemy will blink and you're unable to start another fight with it while the state is active, which means you can jump on it for a brief period. When the Spiny is flashing, it's possible to use it as a platform to jump...
Dang it, I'm getting spoilers. I didn't want spoilers. It's alright. It's alright. I'll never visually feel it for the first time, but I visually felt it for the first time in this like sort of reaction video. And this video is a reaction. Let's be real here. Even though he might have filmed the gameplay itself, it's a reaction to his own gameplay, anyways.
Up to the ledge with the Stumpet, skipping the room behind it, and the risky skips where you jump over the Stumpet itself. The last scripted fight we'll be skipping takes place in the final area of the game, the factory, where machine-made versions of enemies and bosses you've previously defeated...
He's showing the final version.
...are speeding at you on conveyor belts.
Okay.
One of these in particular is supposed to be a forced encounter, as the Bowyer clone doesn't give you any room to...
I'm seeing endgame enemies. Yo. Imagine they make sequel in this art style though. That'd be something. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Maybe for a Switch 2, maybe for a Switch 1.
Avoid it, or so the developers thought. When you get to the second long platform, Bowyer will be just above you, but if you buffer your next jump by sliding back on the conveyor, then jump as Bowyer is transitioning from the upper platform, you can make it over him.
Like it's a JRPG kind of style. You know, like 3 teammates or 2 teammates. I think you could have up to 2 more teammates.
And skip the fight entirely. The remake is very faithful
They could even make it multiplayer.
to the original game. In fact,
Imagine imagine Alpha Dream. I don't think they worked on this project, but imagine they go into like the mobile, like a mobile Mario and Luigi. But there'd be so many updates they gotta work on.
a lot of the movement glitches we just looked at are present in both. The SNES version had a litany of major glitches as well, so before we get to the sequence breaking glitches, let's see if any major glitches carried over. The biggest time save on the SNES happens at the first major boss, Mac, or Clay Morton if you've only played the remake, since you can skip this fight entirely. To initiate the fight, you walk up the stairs and hit a trigger volume that starts a cutscene which leads to the battle, but you can jump over the trigger itself. The Shy Guys in the throne room have hitboxes, but unlike regular Shy Guys, they aren't programmed to start a battle when you collide with them. Instead, you can stand on them normally. This
Oh snap! That kind of exploit on them.
on its own isn't enough to skip the trigger, but the Shy Guys are jumping, and if you jump at the apex of the Shy Guy's height, you'll get enough distance to pass the trigger. This lets you talk to the Chancellor starting another cutscene, and when it fades to black, Mac and the Shy Guys are taken away.
Dang, bro, they could have like ported this on the DS or something.
Giving you a star and skipping the boss fight. In the remake, the skip doesn't
It'd be cool to see like a ported version with like the map on the bottom screen as well.
work, as no matter what you do, as soon as you land on the upper platform, you hit a trigger that starts the cutscene, forcing the fight with Mac. The next trick we need to investigate is the skill swap. If you've ever wondered why Peach knows Genoblast or Shocker in the speedrun, it's because of a glitch with the Power Star. If you jump under a Power Star then press X before you open the chest, the menu will open with the Power Star music playing. If you swap the characters in your party around while in this state,
Whoa.
then achieve a level up, the
I always like it when they put those like, you know, cool little mini games like that. Like Blast from the Past. They did it in Thousand Year Door. And Super Paper Mario.
The swapped characters will learn each other's moves. This trick works due to the game assuming characters won't be swapped once a star is active. So while the game thinks it's Geno in slot 3, it's actually Peach. As for if this works in the remake, it seems the developers must have been watching speedruns of the SNES game because they don't let you open the menu while jumping, which leaves one major tool from the Super Nintendo version to investigate, and that's RNG manipulation. In the original game, RNG manipulation served 3 purposes: to ensure you received only 1 hit per turn in the Terrapin fight at the beginning, to guarantee rock candy freebies in the Clown fight, and to make sure you get certain challenges in the Bowser doors at the end of the game, which are normally randomized. Because the random number generator follows the same pattern from power on every time you boot up the game, certain events can be manipulated by taking precise movement.
Wow, they actually had the same save blocks. Same save blocks, man, that they use for the other games.
Combined with frame perfect inputs. They typically
This is their first release of it as well, I think, right?
require a save point to be nearby, since you can't carry perfect movement and button presses for extended
A miniature Mario.
periods. And the rock candy manip even requires audio cues from the battle music to help hit the single frame windows to get freebies. In the remake, however, a viable RNG
Can't remember if there's an action command for this one, but relaxing if there isn't.
manip hasn't been found for 2 reasons. In the original, the movement is a lot easier since you only have 8 possible directions, whereas the remake has full freedom of movement. And second, and probably most important, the RNG counter in the remake was more than likely properly randomized, which will prohibit any of these tricks. This brings us to the only trick
Wait, you team up with Bowser somehow. Oh gosh.
that carried over from the original, and that
No, so
Geno Whirl on
Giant
Exor
sword.
being a one-hit KO. If you knock out Exor's left eye, then hit a perfect timing on Geno Whirl, Exor will receive max damage and the fight will end instantly. This was originally thought to be an oversight by the
Whoa.
devs, but if you look at the code in the original game, this was intended behavior. The remake also includes this mechanic, so any speculation as to if this was intentional or not should be put to rest.
Dang. So I'm probably gonna see that in speedruns then, right?
Unless the devs intentionally
Wait, so they probably patched some stuff as well then. Maybe?
included a bug, which brings us to the remake-only sequence breaks. The first on our list is the Booster Tower save point jump. When you get to the final room before the curtain minigame in Booster's Tower, there's a chest at the end of a platforming section, but there's a hidden chest above it that's very useful to the speedrun, as it contains the goodie bag which you can sell for 555 coins. To save time, it was discovered that just like the flower in Mushroom Way, you can jump on the save point without it sending you to the save game screen if you land exactly on the edge of it. You can then jump on the chest platform and skip having to run to the end of the hall, saving about 5 seconds.
I keep thinking those chests are like item blocks or something, bro. They look like the chests in Mario Party, bro.
The next skip takes place in Bellome Temple beneath lands
Very similar, but not identical.
and saves about 10 seconds. Normally, when you enter this room, you're supposed to talk to the shaman, then hit the tongues on the statue in any order you want. This spawns a fortune that informs you what treasure awaits you in the next room, ranging from enemy encounters to frog coins. If you try and jump on the shaman to skip this sequence, the developers included a failsafe to have him fade away, forcing you to re-enter the room and go through the process of getting a fortune. But like the save point jump, you can get on the shaman without triggering his escape script. With a precise jump, you can land on the edge of the shaman and avoid triggering the teleport. This doesn't get you high enough to make it up
A lot of platforming related stuff.
the ledge, but it does let you get on top of one of the Bellome statues, which lets you jump to the upper platform and bypass the fortune minigame. The Bellome Temple and Booster Tower skips only save a combined 15 seconds, but
Of course, it's not a huge skip.
the next skip saves more than
So it would be cool to see how much, if he did some sort of like time tracking throughout. But that's the first time you mentioned how long. It was even a time skip, but yeah, listing all these controls right here is something new, I think, in the game. Maybe.
both of them put together,
Wait, they had a minigame like this in here in the other version?
and it takes
It'd be cool to see a side-by-side comparison. If somebody made a video like that, probably hasn't got recommended to me.
place in the minecart minigame. After beating Punchinello and getting the second star, you return to Moleville through the minecart minigame, which has 4 sections. In the first section, you need to navigate a maze of track while picking up mushrooms, which can be used to get temporary speed boosts. The second section is a side-scrolling version, with jumps being important as the optimal path isn't along the bottom track. The third section is a more difficult version of the first, with the final being another side-scroller where you spam mushrooms. The first and third
Oh yeah, I do remember them having some minigames.
sections are the most difficult, as the tight turns require you to hold the brake for an extended period. Otherwise, you crash off the track and lose time. In the SNES version, you only needed to tap the brake.
They could even make their own like kart racer like this. Imagine a mobile game like this.
But in the remake, you not only need to hold the brake through the entire corner, but also need to reduce your speed below a threshold before taking the corner. Fortunately, the third section has a skip, and it appears to have been built in by the developers. On the second corner, if you consume a
I don't know why. So the mushrooms heal them or like speed them up there, right?
mushroom then jump, the speed boost will carry you over the out of bounds section and have you land safely on the other side of the track, saving about 40 seconds and skipping the most big skip either. It was actually a random Twitch chatter. On the surface, the remake appears to be a well-made game with no skips for any bosses or major areas, but there's one major sequence break.
Well, yeah, he says that like 3 days after its release, fam, but
that could blow the entire game wide open, as it would skip Rosetown, Booster Tower, and the sunken ship. In the Kiro sewers, there's a pipe that will take you all the way to Land's End. At first appearance, it seems like it's out of reach, as you're not supposed to have access to it until you reach Land's End, which lets you come back to Kiro and grab the chest that's on the upper area. But there is a way to reach the pipe from the Kiro side. If you kite a boo over the small platform under the pipe, you can initiate a battle like we did with the Stumpet skip, then run, which turns the boo into a temporary platform. This lets you jump
Okay. Nice little. Straight up gonna modify that somehow.
on the boo to get to the
Feel like a dev already.
pipe,
Just watching. I haven't even done the glitch before.
taking you from Kiro sewers all the way to Land's End. The developers foresaw this skip, however, and put in a failsafe, as there's a ledge you can't jump over from the Kiro side. If you come from the Land's End side, however, a barrel gets knocked down, which lets you jump back up once you've grabbed the chest. The ledge should theoretically stop the skip, but there is a Bezo in the room, and just like the boo, you can use it as a stepping
Flying Shy Guy with butterfly wings. Okay.
stone to jump on and get to higher areas. In this case, there is a problem. The Bezo is at a higher altitude than the boo, so it appears as though you can't jump on it. There aren't any other objects in the room that you can get on top of either for more height, so unless a method like the save block or shaman jump is found, getting over the wall with the Bezo will remain a pipe dream. But the remake also has the new fast travel feature. When you open the map, you can fast travel to any destination you've previously visited, and since this tunnel area is in Land's End, I had the idea to cheat my way there early using the boo, then try and use fast travel to teleport myself into Land's End proper. Unfortunately, the developers foresaw my clever attempt at breaking the game and don't enable fast travel to Land's End if you reach it early from Kiro sewers. Aside from the skips, the speedrun has a lot of intricacies with the
10 hours.
experience,
I said he waited till the end to put out how long it'll take.
and
Or at least this guy's run took.
item routes. And once it becomes more solidified, I'll put out a video explaining it.
Wait, he's not
Until
even
then,
done.
Thanks for watching.
10 plus hours. So definitely not as long as a Zelda game, but yeah, it's not. Anyways, I'll see you next video, fam. Like, comment, subscribe, check out Abyss in the description. Yeah, it'd be cool. It seems like a somewhat relaxing game, you know? I'd be down to pick it up.